Greg Hough, thank you so much indeed for your time. Can you tell us first, how does your test kit work?
Okay, well, I can give you an example of that, Andrew. I've got a test kit here, which I will show you how easy and simple it is to use. If we just tear this open, we have like a cassette in this, which is, there's an example of that. What we do from that is we pick up the needle here, which is a retractable needle. So we just take that out, give that a quick swipe with a bit of alcohol to make sure that there's no germs on your finger and all that type of thing. So just clean yourself up here a bit. We then take the needle, jab that needle into your finger like that. And in a few minutes there'll be some blood, which you probably can't really see, but trust me, it's there. We take the little sucker here, if you like, or buffer. We draw some blood from that into the buffer. And then doing that, we then simply drop the blood on top here. Once the blood is dropped in there, we have a solution. We add that solution, which you can't really see me doing, but we put 2 drops of the solution in there. And in about 10 minutes' time, we will have a reading from that. And that will tell us...
We'll come back to you in 10 minutes and find out whether you're okay or not. But clearly, from what you're showing us, this is a test that you can do at home. Now, do studies back up this test, the accuracy, etc., etc.?
Yes, there's been studies done here in America at Yale University by Professor David Spiegel. It was tested over, there's 1,892 recipients of the test in clinical trials. It has a 98% success rate in proving both positive and negative results. All of this has been sent through and approved by the FDA. The test is approved here in America by the FDA. It is also approved in Europe by the CE. And we have an EUA, which is an emergency use authorisation for the tests to be utilised. They are going to be utilised throughout the US. We're talking to some major retailers, and the hope, of course, at the present moment, they are not registered for home use. They can only be used in, let's say, pharmacies and places that are licensed to accept blood, but it is only a matter of time, we would think in days, that it will be able to be home used. So now I can just show you, we have the results now to the test. Not sure if you can see the results here, so I'm trying to find the camera. But basically it comes up with a result, and it comes with a line across it that says C, that says I am negative. I do not have the coronavirus in my system, I'm not a carrier. So it's a very simple test, Andrew, that can be taken by any employee prior to attending work, or any child prior to attending school, for example. And this is obviously the way that we are going to get this virus under control, by testing everybody. It's simple.
That is just brilliant. It's not just the simplicity of it, and it's not just the fact that you can do it right in situ. You don't have to send the results to a pathology lab or anything like that. The speed of it, like you've got a result already just talking to me. What difference would this test make? And it's not the only test in the market. The government can go out and look for others if it wants to. What difference would it make if this test was rolled out in Australia?
Well, Andrew, it would make an enormous difference. I mean, the reality of the situation from a leadership perspective in America here and in Australia and anywhere around the world is that testing is the only way that we are going to get this virus under control. The reality is that they talk about vaccines, but we don't have a vaccine for HIV. We don't necessarily have a vaccine for many of the flus that are around the world. If we do get a vaccine in prior to Christmas, as the leaders would like us to believe, that would be wonderful. The reality is it is more likely to be years away. So what do we do for the next couple of years? We cannot continue to run our economies, run our lives, run our communities under the circumstances as how we have been running those in over the last 6 months. With these tests, we can open up the world. We can open up by testing regularly. These tests are, roughly, we can supply them for around $8 to $10, depending obviously on the volume. We can produce 1 million tests a day. So thousands of people every hour can be tested. The country can open up again in weeks if leaders take on board what needs to be done.
The advantage over the current test is, the current test, it'll take you 2, 3, 4, 5, we've heard of 8, 9, 10 days to get a result. In that time, a lot of people would be infecting others because they don't know they're sick and they want to keep working or whatever. Your tests means, A, you get a result instantly, so you don't have to do as much contact tracing at all. And B, a workplace doesn't need to shut down and tell people to stay at home, in case they might be sick. A workplace can impose these tests on workers and guarantee once they come inside, they're COVID safe. Correct?
That's exactly right. As you saw me run through the example of doing the test there for you, Andrew, I am now clear to go to work. And that's basically, I'm not suggesting that, somebody has to do it every day, but if you did it once a week, if you did it, for example, every Monday morning, and you were clear to go to work, and you knew that you weren't going to spread the virus to any of your work colleagues or anybody around you, then we can open up and our economies can get going again and we can go about doing our daily business.
Greg, this is so important and so basic. And I repeat, there's your test, there's other tests, but yours is ready to go. Yale University. For me, this is absolutely essential. A nimble government would be right onto this, but would be demanding it. Like I said to the expert we had on last night about his test. Can you tell me, you contacted the Andrews government, the Victorian government, which is in all sorts of strife, the whole state in a lockdown that's costing us, says the federal government today, $7-8 billion. Who knows, right? That's just in lost revenue to the government. Who knows what it means to people? You contacted them saying, here, we've got this test ready to go, approved by the Food and Drug Administration in America, cheap. What response did you get?
Well, Andrew, I contacted them at exactly the same time as I contacted yourself. If you'll actually notice on the email that I sent through to you, I had CC'd a number of different people, whether in the state government of Victoria, in the Premier's office, in the health department, and the email I received back was a general email giving me a number of websites that I could go to for information and saying that there was a backlog and I shouldn't expect an answer for 8 to 10 weeks on the email I sent.
8 to 10 weeks. I wonder how many people will be dead in 8 to 10 weeks. But I'm just a journalist. I've got you straight away, and the government that's got people's lives in their hands gives you a form letter saying, we'll be back to you in a couple of months. Okay. I think we now know why Victoria is an absolute stinking basket case where people are dying and people are going broke and the whole state is on its knees. But thank you very much, Greg Hough. I just hope that you will get a response from the government now that we've given you some publicity a little sooner than, by Christmas. Thank you so much for giving your blood and your time to this show.
Appreciate the call, Andrew, and all the very best in Victoria. Thank you.